Today I'm joined by Kieran, the head coach of the LCHS Barons football team. He's here today to tell us about that Barons team, as well as the junior Barons team that also operates out of the Composite High School. And so thank you so much for joining me today, Kieran, and having us out for a few practices this year for football.
Thanks for having me here.
All right, Kieran, so this is the second year of you guys being in that new Saskatchewan League. Tell me a little bit about that league for those who haven't heard of it, and how it was in the sophomore season for that league with you and all those PA and Martinsville's teams.
So the North Saskatchewan Football League has us, two Prince Albert teams, Martinsville and North Battleford in it. This year we narrowly missed playoffs. We had a heartbreaking loss against St. Mary's to not go into the playoffs. Prince Albert Carleton, the team who won, actually went on to win 5A provincials this year. So we're in a really competitive league. This year was a year of growth and development, and we're looking forward to next year where we have a bunch of young guys coming up through our junior football program.
And so let's talk a little bit more about your guys' season this year. What were some of the things that you really liked for your team in this second season and being in a bit of a different league, and some of your veterans and how they adjusted, as well as some of your new players who are coming up for next season and what you're really looking forward to with that?
I think one of the strengths was the player development in the last year and a half, 2 years. When you're playing really good teams week in and week out, you as a player have to be prepared for that physically and mentally. And as a coaching staff, we have to be prepared for that. So I think we did a good job of developing these players. I think we're going to have some players that are going to go on to play at the next level. I think we've been doing a pretty good job of developing our grade 10s, our younger players who are inexperienced, getting them to play at a highly competitive level pretty quickly. So it's a competitive league, but I think that's good for our program to compete against the best. And to be the best, you have to play against the best.
And of course, winning is very important for high school football, but you mentioned having some players go on to the next level. So how important is that for you as a coach, and how proud are you of those players that get developed and then get to go on to post-secondary football and get to continue to play the sport that they love and play for other programs and really help them out as well?
Right, and so obviously, every coach wants to win, and that's an important thing, and we want to establish a winning culture and tradition. We have a great tradition at the high school. Barons football has a storied program and a storied tradition, and we want to continue with that. As a coach, it's incredibly important for us to be able to churn players out who can play at the next level. I think that we can complement some of the position coaches like Cole Bloxham has developed Julian Tepper into a really good football player, and we'll see how many others sign in the future. But I think it just goes to show that if you come to the comp and play with our program, we have competent, capable coaches who can get you to the next level, and we're proud to hang our hat on that. We had Garrett Hatchard, who was playing in the Canada West final where they narrowly lost to Laval, and someone who coached him and has been part of the program for a while. We're quite proud of that.
And so, as well as being the head coach of the senior program, you also consulted a little bit with that junior Barons program. Tell me a little bit about that program and kind of how they turned out and what you've been doing with them.
Yeah, so that's a really exciting opportunity. So it's a grade 8 and 9 team that's operating out of the comp. It's open to people within the community and surrounding communities. This was our first year. We're really excited about the growth and development of the junior program. I think it's going to act as a feeder program to help out with our senior team in the future, and we'll have students who are with more experience, year in, year out. And so when they come in grade 10, they'll have played a couple of years within our system. We play in the Saskatoon Kinsman Football League. We were highly competitive. We were 3-4. We were right there in a couple games. I think we, had I think a couple of things gone a different way, we may have had a couple more wins. The top 4 teams are really good in Saskatoon. Clavette had a really good program. A couple of the Saskatoons had really good programs, really good athletes. So that's fun for our guys to get a taste of really competitive football, and it's a good litmus test to see where our program is, and we want to use that as a feeder for the senior team.
All right, and so finally we'll talk about coming up for this summer and when you guys are doing your ID camps and getting spring training started. Tell me a little bit about some of those players that you're really excited about and getting back into the swing of things once summer comes around, as well as maybe some of those junior Barons that maybe are going to make the step up into grade 10 and going to be part of the program for the senior team.
For sure. So we're going to have a more comprehensive and systematic off-season lifting program. We're partnering up with Grid Athletics to come and do about a 3-month program for our players, and so we're excited about those opportunities. In terms of some of the graduating players, Mason Byford, I think Julian Tepper, Caden Malikoff, I think they may be looking at the next level. I know Julian's had a few offers. From the grade 10 program, our rookie of the year was Colby Hines. He's a big physical guy. We're looking forward to the growth that he makes. Our most outstanding offensive player this year was Carson Kirchhoff. He's a multi-sport athlete. He's a pretty outstanding athlete, and we're looking forward to what he can bring. And then I'm most excited about some of the grade 9s that are coming up. We've got a strong cohort of grade 9s. Joseph Kelly, who was the grade 9 quarterback, will be coming up. He's a football guy. He's quite talented. He's got the frame. I'm excited to see his development over the next 3 years. Mason Lockyer, a massive offensive lineman. That's where we want to build the teams around, is the O-line. Jackson Haxenson, a defensive lineman as well. So we're excited for the future. We've got some guys coming up, and it's our job as coaches to get them ready to rock and roll for high school football, because it is a jump.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited to see the team coming up this spring and into the summer and fall months when the season begins again. And so thank you so much, Kieran, for coming in today and for having us at some of your practices and games. And we will definitely have more Barons coverage coming up in the new year.